What's up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine, and today we're going to take a look. I've been on Disney Plus. I'm going the first 24 hours. Let's take a review. Let's take a look at what it's like, how it's working, and what's been happening since 3:30 in the morning Central Time on November 12th. Jeffrey Powers from Geekazine, Think Magazine, Put in a Geek. You can find me at all the socials. Just look up Geekazine and you're good to go. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, bell notification, both on youtube.com/Geekazine and Geekazine.com to let you know when the next article or video is up and ready to go. So Disney Plus, here we are. You are here. Disney Plus is here, and you've got a lot of questions. You don't want to get it just yet. It's $6.99 a month, $69.99 a year, but you also have that new Apple TV Plus, which is $4.99 a month, and it's got some great shows on it too. So what do? I don't even know what to do sometimes. I really don't. So basically, let's take a look. So like I said, yesterday at about 3:30 in the morning, I was up. They were up, and it's like, hey, let's see if it's working. It was working, and I started watching a lot of content, and it was pretty much amazing. Now, for some of you, you went to load up your Disney Plus, and it didn't work. We had problems, and that's usually on a launch day, that's what's going to happen. And I think it was more of the fact of where you were located to having the problems, because when you stream stuff, it doesn't all stream from the same place. It's not like one computer and everybody's attaching that one computer. It's basically farms in different parts of the world, and you connect up to your closest farm for your content. So worked for me, didn't work for a few of you, but eventually in this 24 hours it started to work, and you were able to catch your content. Of course, the big thing, The Mandalorian, the new Star Wars. Jon Favreau thought of what happened after Return of the Jedi. And of course, there's a lot more content on there and new shows. And one that I'm really excited for that's not Star Wars, that it's just amazing. So let's take a look at this interface and go from there, because it'll be pretty much the same of what you've seen of any other interface, so whether it be a Netflix or a Hulu or an Amazon. And then we'll talk about, is Amazon, should they be worried? Should Hulu be worried? Should Netflix be worried? And we're going to talk about that as we go. But first of all, let's take a look at it. Here it is, the main page. This is on the desktop. The Roku also looks like that. There's also other platforms. I'm pretty sure it's going to be very similar. You have the top area, which is basically a slideshow of some of the cool content that you could watch right away, from Avengers to Mandalorian to Captain Marvel to whatever. And then you have the second area, which are basically main categories: Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars. And then underneath is just a hodgepodge, a plethora of cool content, including some of the originals, the live-action Lady and the Tramp movie. And then underneath that, you have some of the great movies that is part of the Disney offering there. So let's go into the Disney part here. As you can see, nicely animated on the top, and of course you have all the shows, including High School Musical, the series, Encore, the Imaginaries, and much more. We'll go over to the Pixar stuff. As you can see, the little Pixar lamp just jumping around, getting ready to hit that eye. Here goes. Oh, and of course all the content from Finding Dory to Monsters University to Cars 2 to Cars 54 to Toy Story 7564 and other stuff like that. Just amazing content, hours upon hours of entertainment, and small clips like Lava and Tin Toy and just the 7-minute content. It's amazing. Moving over to the Marvel stuff, we have the Marvel universe, and not only just Marvel, not only just the MCU movies, but also the animated stuff. Like we see some Spider-Man, we see some Ant-Man right there, and then of course original stuff, including this one right here, the Hero Project, which I haven't watched just yet, but I can't wait to see how that is, because it's an inspiring new series, and I can't wait for that to happen. Next we have Star Wars, and of course, just like with the others, you have the movies, you have TV shows, you have animated series. So if you've never caught up on the animated series stuff, you have the opportunity for Clone Wars. You can do the Lego stuff, you can do just a whole ton of stuff right here in Star Wars. You could probably start on January 1st and not be done till the end of 2025. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just taking a wild stab in the dark here. But anyway, lots of cool stuff over at Star Wars. And then we have one more section here. So let's go over to that section here, and that's National Geographic. And this is pretty cool because it has a lot of documentary stuff. It has a lot of knowledge and some fun stuff here. You got Brain Games. That's a fun show right there. And a new original. Let's talk about the originals here before we get to that. We got the Mandalorian. We got the High School Musical, the series. So I think they're finding new players for their next High School Musical. We got Encore, which Kristen Bell reunites high school musicals and recreates them like they recreated Annie. They probably won't get to My High School, and that's too bad because we did a great production of Camelot. I don't know. And then this one, I think this is going to be the breakaway secondary show, The World According to Jeff Goldblum. It is an awesome documentary. The first episode is on shoes, and you might not geek out on shoes, but the way that they put this together is just amazing. You learn a little bit more about the collecting of the shoes, making of shoes, creating your own custom shoes. I highly recommend this. The World According to Jeff Goldblum. Amazing stuff right here. And then, of course, we have The Mandalorian. And I'll show you just a touch because I don't want to get any copyright strikes against me. But the idea of The Mandalorian is straightforward. It happens right after Return of the Jedi. And Jon Favreau is trying to make it as close to the content of George Lucas's envisionment of, they call the cowboy western, space western or whatever. So amazing stuff right there. Like I said, tons of content, but the one thing that really kind of blew my mind away was this one right here. We're going to take a look at, which one will we do here? Let's do this one right here, the band concert. Once again, I'm only going to show you a couple minutes. I'm on the desktop, so it's asking me if I want to connect it to my TV, which if you have that option, you can. And look at this, 4:3. But the quality of this, you don't see lines, you don't see squiggles or anything like that, like you would if you were watching on your television back in the day. And that's the most amazing part of this whole thing is it's just clean content. Now the first one, the Steamboat Adventure, yeah, I think that they had to pull that from an old film, and you can see the shake and stuff like that. But they did fix a lot of the scratching, and it looks pretty amazing for a cartoon that came out in, what was it, 1935, I believe. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But just amazing content. And the best part is you can put your kids in front of the TV. You can watch with them and kind of relive your past. Like me in front of the TV when I was 7 watching all of these cartoons. It's just amazing. And I'm really impressed with how this channel is. Now, let's talk about, like I said, they did have some problems within the first 24 hours. The one big problem was a lot of people couldn't connect up. And so they had to wait a little bit longer. But now my understanding is a lot of the connection issues have been resolved. And so a lot of people are getting on. The other thing that they've noticed across the interwebs was that a lot of this stuff was, it was misspelled. Like, for instance, the big one was Monsters, Inc. They thought was misspelled, but it actually was the French version. The thumbnails were the French version. And so it said Monsieurs, Inc. or something like that. And so that's what they saw. But it was fun little fodder for the social medias and the internets out there. But everything's kind of getting together, getting in order. As things progress, you got to remember that this is an active channel, which means that it'll happen. You know, a new video will show up, just like on Netflix, just like on Hulu, just like on Amazon. A mistake will be made, and they'll fix it within 24 hours. That's what they're there to do. They're trying to fix it. Now, if you do have a problem, this is the cool part. This is one of the things, 2 parts that I want you to take note for if you need to. First of all, let's make sure we're here. Let's start here. This part right here. This is your advertising choices. Now, if you go to the bottom, scroll all the way to the bottom, you're going to get all these links on the bottom, and these links are going to be down here, including a contact us. You have closed captioning, ways to watch, about us, internet-based ads, and that's what we're going to right here. In this part, you have a way to actually turn off some of the cookies that might be watching what you're watching. Like, for instance, let's go to this here. Anything with a checkbox, you can check and then say, I want to opt out on that. So I'd submit the opt out on, what did I shoot? Flash Talking Inc., which is a retargeting optimization cookie. I want to opt out on Newstar. I want to opt out on Oracle Data Cloud. I want to opt out on Salesforce. All of this stuff could have active cookies that you can opt out on. There are some other ones that are not, and you can learn more a little bit about their preferences and how you can possibly opt out on that in the future. So, and this is all customizable through the bottom there, where you can put it all together. And I believe this is on the web page. I'm not sure if it's on the over-the-top devices, but I'm assuming so, or at least I'm assuming there's a way to opt out. You might have to go to a desktop to do that, but then it would then go across platform, possibly. Don't quote me on that once again, but check on your systems. You can also let me know by commenting down below if you found it on your PS4, on your Roku, on your Samsung TV, and such as that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the Help Center. Now, if you have any questions, just like anything else, it looks like a standard. I don't know. I saw Zendesk in the opt-out area, so I'm guessing that this is a Zendesk-based Help Center right here. It gives you the platforms that it's running on right now. So if you have any questions, if you want to see if your platform's on here, then you can check out. And then down here, questions: chat, call, email, social. Now, I did chat, and I do have to tell you that I was on chat for about 45 minutes before I decided to abandon my chat with them. And I was going to ask a silly question so I could do this video. But, if you want to call them, you can, but there might be high wait times. You can email them, and they'll probably give you better expectations on things. And, of course, socials, the Twitters. And I think it's only Twitter that they're on. In fact, let's just click on here right here. Yeah, it just takes you to the Twitter page for the Twitter profile. So that is through the help area. That will allow you to, if you have any problems, to report the problems, to talk about what type of privacy issues you have with Disney Plus, what they record, everything and anything you need to talk to about Disney, you can do so there. Other than that, I don't see any Easter eggs, anything past what's here, but there are more internet savvy people than I am that can find those little things and report on them. But if I find them, I will let you know as quick as possible, and we will go from there. So that's it in a nutshell. That is Disney Plus, and some great content right here. The price, of course, $6.99 a month, $69.99 a year. That is at the release of Disney Plus. That price can change over time. And of course, comparing to Apple TV Plus, which is $4.99 a month, and then you can kind of get it free if you buy different things. I don't know. Are you going to get it? I know I've had a lot of people asking me questions. I know, and this is another question people have been asking: is this show on there? Is that show on there? The bottom line is, if it's part of the Disney library, which is basically Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, or Lucasfilm, excuse me, and what else? Fox. They have Simpsons, all the Simpsons episodes on there. So if it's any of this, I'm guessing that at this point in time, it's all on there. Now, don't quote me on it because I don't know for sure. But my guess is shows will come and go on there. Like, for instance, Sleeping Beauty. To get Sleeping Beauty or Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it was always a seasonal promotion, which meant they started it on one day and they said you had to get it by this day or until supplies run out. So go get it now. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to watch that on Disney Plus, and if it is on Disney Plus, if it's on there for a limited time, and then they pull it off and then they bring it back. but they have that option, and that's the same thing that Netflix does. That's the same thing that Hulu does, and Amazon. The only difference is they usually get licenses from other, like for instance, Netflix got licenses from Marvel to show their content, which has changed probably now. They might still get a license for a movie every now and then you'll see in their catalog, but a lot of it's going to be on Disney Plus. Disney doesn't have to worry about those licenses because they own the content. They can pick and choose when Lady and the Tramp shows up and then goes away. But with Netflix, and Netflix has original content, they can do the same thing. So it all depends on how they put this all together, and we still have a lot to understand about what their plan is for the Disney Plus channel. But so far, in the first 24 hours, it has been a pretty delightful experience, and not too many problems putting it together. I did see some problems myself, like for instance when I went to the Star Wars page, it only showed the graphic on top, the Imperial fleet passing by the planet and things like that. It didn't have the list underneath. Once again, got fixed. And of course, the shows, The Mandalorian being the big one, and I'm saying this: the world according to Jeff Goldblum. Watch it, and just be amazed, and not only in how he interviews the people and does the show, but how they put the graphics together, how they put the movie together. Just amazing stuff. Just amazing. Can't speak any higher about that. So, but I want to know what you guys think about Disney Plus. Did you get it? Let me know. Comment down below over on youtube.com/Geekazine, over on Geekazine.com, over on Facebook or Twitter or wherever you decide you want to do it. Go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, bell notification. We'll let you know when the next video comes out. And of course, bell notification on Geekazine. We'll let you know when the next article comes out. So, all right, that does it pretty much for this week. My name is Jeffrey Powers. I don't know. There we go. Jeffrey Powers, thanks a lot for watching. And we got a lot more content coming out, including the 5 tech things you should know about Thanksgiving. Check that out. And then I've been to South Korea. I'm going to South Korea again. Got a lot of cool content from South Korea. So check that out. The G Fair coming out very soon. And then a food fair in a couple weeks. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, you guys geek out and take care.